news and sport. Tune in to News Punch and Diamond 88.7 FM. News Punch, all about the news.
It's a minute gone past 9 a.m. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on today's edition of News Punch on Diamond 88.7 FM, Lauren, where we bring you the trending stories across the globe. I am BABAFEMI ADESOYE, and here are the stories making waves across the world this morning. In Nigeria, a group of political and social-cultural leaders of Nigeria Southeast will meet President Bola Tinubu to seek his intervention to restore security in the region. Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State revealed on Thursday. Uzodinma was at the State House Abuja to request an urgent meeting between the president and the Southeast leaders to discuss security and development issues in the region. Recall that the Southeast has become one of the most troubled spots in the last few years, with the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra issuing sit-at-home orders on Mondays. Aside from the economic drawbacks of the order, the region has also been plagued with incidences of kidnapping, killings, and destruction of properties. Still in Nigeria, the Department of State Services, DSS, has finally charged the suspended governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Godwin Emefiele, to court. An Abuja High Court on Thursday, 13th July, ordered the secret police to charge Emefiele to court within 1 week or get him released. DSS spokesman Peter Afunaya confirmed in a statement on Thursday night that Emefiele has been charged to court in compliance with the court order. On the foreign scene, more than 300 people, including an opposition lawmaker, have been arrested following violent anti-government protests in major Kenyan cities that left several people dead, according to officials. Opposition leader Raila Odinga has called for civil disobedience and weekly nationwide demonstrations against President William Ruto's government, recent tax hikes, and the recent cost of living. Protesters clashed with police on Wednesday as they took to the streets of the capital, Nairobi, and elsewhere to protest against the new tax hikes that were imposed despite a court-ordered suspension. Diving into the exciting world of sport, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will face similar foes as South Africa for a place in the 2026 FIFA World Cup, to be jointly hosted by the United States of America, Canada, and Mexico. Nigeria will also have to contend with neighbors Benin Republic, who is now being coached by former Eagles coach Janet Rohr in the preliminary qualifiers. Also in the Group C, alongside Nigeria, South Africa, and the Benin Republic, are Rwanda and Lesotho. The official draw for the 2026 global event was made on Thursday, just hours after the 45th CAF General Assembly. And that's all we have for you on this edition of News Punch. Up next is the Diamond Breakfast Show, where we bring you the analysis of the stories that have happened this week. Please do stay tuned.
For up-to-date news reported across the globe, be rest assured you're on the right radio dial. Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin, your shining supreme station.
From news to sports, current affairs to entertainment, beautiful music, amazing programs, we got you all covered at Diamond 88.7 FM.
The major talking points in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead, and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
Nigeria don't spoil my business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, I want to kill us. Father, not kill us for Nigeria. Oh, please, help us beg them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the spotlight on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can you hold in domain? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people.
From the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM in Lorry, this is the Diamond Breakfast Show.
Right, you're welcome back to the Diamond Breakfast Show. Yes, we'll be analyzing some of the major talking points in the news this morning. To do this with me this morning is Barrister Gideon Osagbemi. He's a legal practitioner, public affairs analyst, and a social commentator. Good morning, Barrister.
Good morning, sir.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, how's the weather been treating you?
Oh, the rain decided to shower us this morning.
Oh, yeah?
I want to take this opportunity to appeal to the Kwara State government.
Oh, yes.
To help and dualize the Garkambi Agbabi Aka Road. Whenever it rains, it's almost impassable.
Oh.
I literally had to drive across a river
to
get here this morning, which is not too safe for school children going to school. It becomes very difficult to navigate.
And other road users. Okay, well, I hope the government is listening right now and something will be done as soon as possible. Okay, well, let's get into the stories for this morning. President Bola Tinubu has said that his administration will transfer 8,000 naira monthly to 12 million low-income households for 6 months. And Tinubu's request to the Senate to approve the borrowing of 500 billion naira was given the green light on Thursday after his letter was read during plenary by Senate President Godswill Akpabio. In the letter, the president explained that the loan will go towards scaling up the National Social Safety Net program, noting that an 8,000 naira monthly stipend will be transferred directly to the beneficiary's account. Barrister, what were your thoughts when you heard about this move?
I was surprised, just like every other Nigerian. People have expressed their concerns since the news broke. So I was also surprised.
Okay, what exactly were you expecting? Because for you to be surprised, that means what has come was not being expected. So what were you expecting on the contrary?
I was expecting a policy that will make life easier for people to live. Generally, the generality of the people, not a particular number of targeted persons. How they came about that number, we do not know. I was expecting a more robust policy that can ameliorate the sufferings caused on Nigerians by the increase in pump price as a result of the removal of food subsidy.
All right, thank you very much. Talking about checking the number of people that have been chosen to get this. Okay, some people of the opinion that this is just about not even up to should I say, 10% of the population. But then, talking about the population, a family could consist of 6 people, or 4, or 3, or even 7, or 12, as the case may be. So I do not think, the judgment on social media about the percentage is actually fair enough. When people say, okay, because we are more than 120 million, and then you're talking about 12 million families, so that's not just up to 10% of the whole population. But I don't know whether you think that is fair enough or unfair. But then this has generated many reactions from Nigerians. Is this the kind of palliative measure that the government should be considering, or should even make a move to consider?
Well, the fact that the government has decided to do this, we must give kudos to the government. However, it has not met the yearnings and aspirations of Nigerians. There are still other things the government could do. And this particular policy, if we decide to consider it holistically, we'll discover that it raises more questions than answers. To start with, how did the number of 12 million Nigerians, how did they come about?
12 million families?
No, 12 million households.
Households, okay.
We have over 200 million Nigerians, and from statistics from the National Bureau of Statistics,
okay,
we have at least 40 million households in Nigeria.
Okay.
That is because we have average of 5 people per household in Nigeria.
Okay.
So if we have an average of 40 million households, how did the government come about giving the loan or whatever it is to only 12 million Nigerian households? It means that a lot of people are excluded. Now, aside from the number of people benefiting, which we believe is insufficient, who are those people and how are they going to be determined? The clause used is for low-income earners and most vulnerable Nigerians. How this is to be determined is what we do not know. But judging from the previous administration's policies, where they gave out money to market women, this and that, they called it poorest of the poor. That they give this kind of support to the poorest of the poor. But I want to argue that even if the present administration will rely on figures and templates used by the previous administration to distribute these handouts, it will not still meet the target people, because between the 2018 or thereabout, when former President Buhari started all these social palliatives and all that, more persons have gone into extreme poverty than the people who were enrolled for those programs under the past administration, which I strongly believe will be repeated or implemented by this current administration. They already have numbers, account numbers, and phone numbers, data of some persons benefiting or who benefited from the previous administration's social investment palliatives.
Palliatives, yes.
Nigerians have issues with how those people were shortlisted. Was it based on political affiliations? Was it based on economic incapacity? So already the existing list is
or was it just based on random sampling?
You get my point. So the number of persons to be catered for is not sufficient. The amount being offered is grossly also insufficient. With 8,000 naira in a month, you can do nothing, practically nothing. If you are buying fuel, there is no way an average person will not consume about 10 liters of fuel per day. That's about 520 naira. So
that's,
with 8,000,
let's say 5,000 naira per day.
Yes, average of 5,000 naira per day. So with 8,000 naira, an average car owner can only purchase 15 liters of fuel, and that is for 1 month, which will be exhausted in 2 or 3 days. And then the fund is supposed to come for 6 months. After 6 months, what happens to people? Is the pump price going to reduce after 6 months, or you just want to give a cosmetic support for 6 months and then people revert to their original state? So there are a lot of questions concerning the palliative arrangement, which maybe as time unfolds, it will begin to get answers. However, just yesterday we read in the news that the federal government has declared a state of emergency on agriculture. These are some of the things we were expecting the government to do. By the emergency declaration, the federal government plans to invest so much in agriculture, provide food security, control food prices, prevent inflation, and things like that, using irrigation to guarantee all season planting. So if this is done, it will reduce the cost of food prices in the market, and it will eventually rub off on the general. These are things that everybody will benefit from, not selecting some few political loyalists and dishing out stipends to them and calling it a palliative. It's not acceptable to Nigerians from interactions we have had with people.
All right, thank you very much, Barrister. Well, as it is right now, ladies and gentlemen, yes, if you're listening to us, you're listening to the Diamond Breakfast Show on Diamond 88.7 FM in Lorry. And of course, here we are discussing about the recent move of the federal government to be made, anyway, talking about the promise to transfer 8,000 naira monthly to 12 million low-income households for 6 months to just, act as palliatives for the subsidy of fuel removal. Now, if you have an opinion, a point of view, or you have a disposition about what we're discussing, even a reservation, yes, you can quickly get us here via this numbers: 0913 655 6952, 080 887 887. You can also send us messages to this number via WhatsApp or SMS: 0913 655 6864, 0913 655 6864. We'll be expecting your messages as we go on. But in the meantime, let's quickly get to pay some bills, and then when we come back, yes, definitely, we continue with the Diamond Breakfast Show. Please stay tuned to Diamond 88.7 FM in Loring.
Are you looking to introduce your business to the world or maintain an existing brand image? Well, let's help you. Advertise with us at Diamond 887 FM in Lorry. We provide a wide range of services to help showcase your business. For inquiries and advert bookings, visit our marketing office at Plot 2, New Yidi Road, Irewolede, Ilorin, or call 091 2929 4332 or 081 2828 6078. Diamond 887 FM, your shining supreme station.
All right, you're welcome back from the short commercial break. It is still the Diamond Breakfast Show on Diamond 88.7 FM in Lorry. Do not forget the number to call is 0913 655 6952 or 080 887. You can also join the conversation on Twitter. Tweet at Diamond 887 FM, CC at Don Femi King with the hashtag DBS. And let's have a robust discussion concerning these issues together this beautiful Friday morning. Okay, 0913 655 6952. I think we have a call already. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning. Okay, I think we lost that. Let me pick from the side. Hello, good morning.
This money they want to share, the money will go to wrong hands. Let them repair our refinery.
Please, sir, your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Frederick from Sapati.
Okay, Frederick from Kakaki. Thank you so much, sir.
Let them repair our refinery. This money will go to wrong hands again. So let them not share money. Okay, thank you.
Okay, let them not share money because the money will go into wrong hands. All right, thank you very much, Mr. Frederick from Kakaki. Well, yes, that's an angle there. Yes, we're expecting other messages and the calls, definitely. Okay, another question, Barrister, on this same issue is that when policies of this nature are proposed, how should citizens respond to ensure that they are tailored to their needs? I mean, I don't know how exactly should citizens respond?
Thank you very much. You know, we run a presidential system of government where we have the presidency as the executive, we have the National Assembly as the legislative arm, and the judiciary. The legislators are elected by members of the society, the citizens, to represent them and speak for them. So when a citizen has an opinion or a contribution to a political matter or a national issue, he ought to forward his contributions to his representative to present his views, which can be aggregated by the constituency. Not only one, I don't mean one person now. Like we, the people of this constituency, this senatorial district or House of Representative zone, we have an opinion, we have a view, we have a contribution. We can now forward same to our representative to present to his colleagues at the National Assembly, and a decision taken and forwarded to the executive. But this has not been happening in Nigeria.
So by the time every lawmaker gets to the house,
he speaks
and
for
then
himself.
they bring about what their people that voted them in have talked about the kind of procedure that the government is about taking place. That means that the government will definitely hear that, okay, this is a good feedback from the people.
That is what it ought to be.
Okay.
That people will transfer their views, communicate their positions to their elected representatives to now push that idea, and if it is accepted by the legislative house, it is conveyed to the executive as the position of Nigerians.
So why hasn't that been happening?
Because people sleep on their rights. You have representatives that you do not even communicate with. He does what he feels is right.
Some of us don't even know them.
Oh yes. And most especially because we now have new legislators recently elected who are yet to settle down or who are just settling down. So the decision is being made on behalf of people without consulting the people.
Okay, let's pick this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. My name is Taiwo. I'm calling from Taiwo.
Oh, Taiwo from Taiwo. Thank you for joining us, sir. Let's have you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. On this issue of 8,000 naira, whatever, I mean, to caution the effect of subsidy, we are not interested, sir.
Oh, really?
And we need cash. That's the fact. Not this kind of amount. And every Nigerian must be carried along because we are all affected by this one. It's not all about 12 households or whatever. And it is not all about 6 months or whatever. We need the one that will be you know, that will be regular one. We need a regular one, at least nothing less than 100 to caution the effect. If not, Mr. President should reverse his decision now. Because agriculture that they declare in a state of emergency now, who can go to the farm now for harvest? Tell me. Go to a farm there, they will kidnap you. Go there, tell them that you want to harvest. Who can still go to the bush now for any harvest? Who can go there? So that we are deceiving ourselves. You said you recover over 400 billion within a month, and you want to spend 80,000 for just 12 million households for 6 months. Then after that 6 months, how do you want them to live? We are deceiving ourselves in this country. We are not prepared at all. They should reverse their decision. They should make provision for subsidy. May God bless them. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Taiwo from Taiwo. Well, that's another angle right there. Yes, we have another call. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Kola Lashoki from Taogumbo.
Okay, Kola Lashoki from Taogumbo. Thank you so much for joining. Can we have you?
To me, the last back of the member of the last week, the same thing in federal money. How many people collect? If you come to the Quora, you go to one of the market, you send them your distribute the money. To me, my own advice, I like money I met, you don't go the way of the last regime in Wallahi. It's not easy. So that's the money for the education. See the lot of the 8 months we hold our education. That is only they go and pay the salary of the house. 2, go and go to refinery. If you don't go to refinery, since a lot of people now want to have the car, a lot of people that don't go the car is enjoying the motorcycle because of say they spend almost 530 naira, 550 naira, 525 naira. Who are you going? You see the money, that is the only thing. You don't want to go, give you the money 8,000 naira for 6 months. How many want to collect the 8,000 naira for 6 months? That is the only thing. Our youth, maintain your name. Almighty Allah, answer our prayer and the country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kola Laushoki from Itagumbo. Well, it was, thinking about it that, okay, 8,000 naira not for just one individual, but for a whole household for the period of 31 days. And then you'll be wondering, what exactly can this cater for? 8,000 naira, when probably that's just the price of a meal or two for some people. Anyway, we are talking about the very poor and then vulnerable people right here, as prescribed by the government. Well, yes, we still have enough messages and calls right here. Let's pick this. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
I'm calling from.
Your name, please.
My name is Dele.
Okay, Dele from where, please?
From Ilani here.
All right, thank you very much for joining. Let's have you, sir.
My own thought is that in Nigeria, we have so many factories closed, like paper mill, sugar batista, and so on. Let us go and rebuild all those places so that people will get work to do. And then in Nigeria here, we had, you are having a vehicle, you park it outside, plus the key inside, you go and sleep. Nobody will take the vehicle. But now, you can't do that because there is no work for people to do. And you want to share 80,000. In our house here, we are having about 8-10 rooms. During the palliative something, you are giving one movie of flour to share. 8,000 cannot do anything here. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Mr. Daly from Ilorin. Thank you. Well, we have a message that says, good morning. Please, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should spend the money to bring down the prices of petrol. Please, next time, kindly include your name and your location so that we can better identify with you. Okay, 0913-655-6864 is the number to send your messages to, and then we will have quite a lot of messages already on WhatsApp. The very first one says, it is our civil right to cast a vote, but we must also know the level of mentality of the person we are casting our votes for. We must do a thorough research on our candidates and not just vote based on popularity and philanthropist act adopted by our current leaders. We must ask ourselves if they are up to the task or not. Imagine paying 12 million families out over 200 million out of over 200 million citizens a sum of 8,000 naira monthly. The families that hardly eat a meal in a day, instead of them to subsidize food and essential commodities like transportation, water, amongst other things. I pray we don't regret voting them, and may God heal our land. That's coming from Admin Joro. All right, thank you very much, Admin Joro. Please, I would like you to next time include your location so that we can better identify with you. Thank you so much. This says, good morning, sirs. To me, it's even better to continue borrowing to pay subsidy even more to force down the price than borrow to share among the so-called vulnerable. If the money were to be shared, we have 12 million people getting 8,000. That is 96 billion naira. For 6 months, that's 576 billion naira. It's a way of giving us chance to criticize this government more than the previous one, because 8,000 naira can't even sustain for a week. If a poor mother in a village gets this 8,000 naira from the government, she won't disclose to her son, who is sending money to her from town, that she got the money. This is why we always think maybe government didn't share the money. Example is myself that got N-Power, collecting 30k for a year, and none of my family members knew. Oh, okay, so it starts from us. In my own opinion, immediate solution is number one, using the money to partner with fertilizer products to reduce the price for the farmers and all other herbicide and machines. 2, providing public transportation system. 3, long-term solution, invest massively on infrastructure, agriculture, security, health, facilities, power, and upgrading our educational system. That's coming from Abdul Wahid from Okwoba. All right, thank you very much, Abdul Wahid from Okwoba, for that very honest information you gave us right there. But you know that the development and progress of this country starts with each and every one of us. Thank you so much for being honest and ready to make a change. This says, good morning, Don Femi and analyst in the studio from Engineer Gamble, okay, from Tanke. I'm totally against the federal government's palliatives. It is totally wrong. Those money should be channeled to the repairs of our refineries. We need refineries to be vastly repaired and sell a little maximum of 100 naira per liter. More so, ever since the removal of subsidy, the federal government should have set up committee to address Nigerians in interval days, updating us on those refineries, like COVID-19 updates of 2020. Nigerian citizens should be treated with respect and honor. God bless Nigerians and Nigeria. God bless Diamond FM. All right, thank you very much, Engineer Gamble from Tanke. Before we go ahead, we have some bills to pay. Let's quickly go, and then when we come back, yes, definitely, we continue with the show. Do not forget the number to send your messages to via WhatsApp or SMS is 0913-655-6864. You can also tweet at Diamond887FM, CC at Don Femi King. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
kára ó lè pé bá ara ríro kò sí mọ́ wọ́n ti lọ wá bí wọ́n sí kára ó lè pé bá múre àtúrà dáadáa.
kókó lára ọ̀tá le. gbéra ńlẹ̀ kó dìde. kára ó lè pè ń bá. àtúrà wọ̀ àtúrà pẹ̀sẹ̀ àtúrà dáadáa. kegun tó kegun náà. kára ó yá gágá. ara ń ronú tẹ́lẹ̀ kò ronú mọ́. tẹ̀bá ti fi kára ó lè pè ń bá ra. lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ló ń ṣiṣẹ́ wọnú igun. tó sì ń ṣe àtúntò rẹ̀. òṣùbù yẹ̀kẹ́ fa párọ̀ tàbí fi ẹsẹ̀ dá. fi kára ó lè pè ń bá bọ̀. káì ara rẹ̀ ó lè padà yakinlala. action ó jẹ́ ara ríro tàbí ẹ̀yìn dídùn. kára ó lè pè ń bá lọ́kọ̀ gbogbo wọn. agbára pọ̀. kára ó lè pè ń bá. tuyi pharmaceutical industries limited. àwọn tó lórúkọ tó ṣe é gbẹ́kẹ̀lé níbi ká po oògùn òyìnbó ló ṣe é. kára ó lè pè ń bá. ẹ̀rọ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ pín ìrèpàtú òpèrè ta pàtà pọ́npọ́n. kára ó lè pè ń bá. ó kì í síbẹ̀.
kára ó lè pè ń bá múre àtúrà dáadáa.
All right, you're welcome back. It is still the Diamond Breakfast Show on Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin. And I have here with me in the building Barrister Gideon of Sagbemi, where we're discussing together the recent proposal of the federal government, talking about 8,000 naira being transferred to 12 million different low-income households for 6 months to cushion the effect of the removal of fuel subsidy by the same federal government. Okay, we still have other reactions right here. Okay, Barrister, let's quickly hear from you. What's your how do I put it right now? What do you think about the people's reaction that so far that we have gotten on this show?
It's obvious the general populace are not interested, and they are not comfortable with the 8,000 naira to be distributed to 12 million Nigerians. So the government should go back to the drawing board and measure up the opinion, the response of Nigerians to this policy, and look for a way of, if possible, rescind it. If the government does not want to rescind it, then they should improve on what has been proposed to make it more acceptable to people. As it is now, it's not acceptable to Nigerians.
8,000 naira. You know, when I first saw the news, I thought it was daily, and then later I now thought about it. 8,000 naira monthly
for 6 months only
for a household, not for an individual. Okay.
Nothing to
this says, good morning, Omoba, and the guest. To me personally, I don't really support the program because the former humanitarian minister said she gave out over 100 billion naira as a palliative in 3 months, even during COVID-19 pandemic, and later sent for Senate to come and explain how till Buhari government handed over Nigeria. Nigerians never heard anything about it any longer. $800 million collected in February this year for palliatives. Where is the record of those that collected the money? That's coming from David Williams Fagbemi. All right, thank you very much, David Williams Fagbemi. And then we still have another one right here. This says, hi, good morning. How are you doing? I'm Ola from Police Road. To me, I will advise Mr. President that he should not share the money because the money cannot do anything for anyone. All right, thank you very much, Ola from Police Road. This says giving us money or anything as palliatives is meaningless and shameless. Wow. I will only applaud. I will only applaud the government if refineries can be repaired in some days to weeks from now and let fuel of low price flood everywhere. Every household can survive if fuel could be affordable, at least less than 100 naira per liter. We did not vote for softness, continuation, but relief. God bless Nigerians and Nigeria. From MD, okay, Okyodo Tanke. Thank you very much, MD from Okyodo Tanke. All right, yes, we may need to move over to to the other story because of our time. The declaration of a weekly sit-at-home order by a faction of the indigenous people of Biafra, that is IPOB, has claimed many lives as members of the group try to impose the order. This has therefore become a major talking point in the country. Recently, a video went viral showing some purported members of IPOB destroying the goods of people who did not follow the sit-at-home order. What steps would you expect the government to take on this issue? Is it that these guys are bigger than the government, or they are the same level with the government, and whenever they say, okay, this should happen, and then that must be the order?
Thank you. Before we proceed into that, I think it's better to approach the issue from the foundation.
From the foundation. Okay, thank you very much.
The history.
All right.
What led to, how did we get to where we are? And the history is that in the First Republic, between 1960 to 1967, when the first military coup happened in July 1967, the Igbo people of the eastern Nigeria had the perception, whether rightly or wrongly, I wouldn't know, I was not alive then.
Okay.
Had the perception that they were being discriminated against in the scheme of things in Nigeria. The enlistment into the army, political appointments, and all of that. So the agitation started since 1960 and continued until 1967, before
the Civil War broke
out. And the Civil War broke out due to the declaration, the secessionist declaration by Colonel Odumegu Ojukwu, leading the Biafrans in a move to secede from Nigeria and establish a government of their own
republic,
Biafran Republic. And we all knew how the Civil War lasted for 3 years, and the federal government of Nigeria then, under General Gawan, overpowered and overwhelmed the Biafra agitators, and everything died down. However, there were promises and undertakings by the Nigerian state to pacify, as it were, the perceived discriminations we talked about. That was the genesis of the agitation, to pacify those agitations and make the Igbo people feel more accepted by Nigeria. And that was the 3 R's declared by General Gowon at the end of the war. That's reconciliation, rehabilitation, and what was it called? Reintegration. Okay. When he said no victor, no vanquished.
No vanquished, yeah.
So the people, the Igbo people again, waited for this reconstruction to happen, and they feel it did not happen. It never happened. So between 1967 down to the Second Republic and afterwards, the feeling of discrimination continued up till 1999, when we had a new taste of democratic dispensation. And then MASOB came up. That was declared by Chief Ralph Uwazurike. MASOB means Movement for the Actualization of Sovereign State of Biafra.
Yes.
You know, the federal government quelled the agitation for MASOB, for Biafra, in 1967. So it's now coming back in 1999 to realize that agitation, because the perceived discriminations had not been attended to. So MASOB came up again, continued to advocate for secession, for Eastern Nigeria to form a country of its own. However, the current leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, was the spokesperson of MASOB under Uwazurike until when he felt the style being used by the Raf Owazurike led Masob was not going to work. So he pulled out of Masob and established what we now have as IPOB, that is Independent People of Biafra. That he was going to achieve the dream faster than Ojukwu and Owazurike.
Okay.
Using the social media and all that and his international connections. So we observed that was in 2012. So from 2012 till date, Masob has continued to agitate for the actualization of a Biafran state. Now, the international treaty and international standard is that a group of persons is entitled to secession, self-determination. If you look at history of South Sudan,
yes,
and other countries,
away from Sudan,
yes, you discover that you can break away from a country and form your own state if you feel your interest has not been catered for by the existing state. So it's not a new thing, it's not impossible. But we have had comments from previous administrations saying the unity of Nigeria was not negotiable. So it now means people are being forced to remain in a country where their loyalty is not there. They are not allowed to go, and they feel they are not enjoying the country. Now, I want to also trace some of the reasons why Biafran people say they want to secede.
Okay.
One, they felt the massive killing of Igbos during the Civil War was uncalled for.
Okay.
About 30,000 Igbo people died.
And had not been addressed up
yes,
till now.
There was this Asaba massacre that happened in Asaba, where after the war, or towards the end of the war, the Nigerian army went to Asaba, and people came out to welcome them in a friendly manner. All of a sudden, the Nigerian army started shooting and killed a lot of people who were not coming for war.
According to history.
According to history.
Okay.
All these are available in the history.
Okay.
So all these treatment that were meted to these people continue to hurt a lot of people. Another issue they complain about is the non-fulfillment of the rehabilitation promises of General Gowon. That all the towns that were destroyed, ruins of war. There's no way war will happen and you will not see ruins of war.
Definitely.
The roads, the infrastructure, everything that was destroyed. In fact, people say today that Igbo people eat a lot of vegetable because during the war, since the vegetation were destroyed, they were forced to start inventing new vegetables. You just see this green leaf and turn it to a soup. That's why today we all agree that Igbo people eat the more of vegetables.
Okay.
So another issue raised was the issue of the fact that there is no Igbo man that has been president since after the war. Another issue is that as of today, the number of states in the geopolitical zones is unequally even against the Southeast. What I mean is that we have average of 6 states per
zone.
Geopolitical zone. In fact, we have 7 in Northwest. But only Southeast has 5, which is the least. They are saying these are indices of marginalization.
Wow.
That if everybody will have 6 and some will have 7, why can't they have 6 too? Another issue is that IPOB has been proscribed as an organization, whereas Boko Haram, which has wreaked a lot of havoc, I wouldn't know which
organization. As a terrorist organization.
As a terrorist organization.
Okay.
I wouldn't know which organization has wreaked more havoc, but I know Boko Haram has wreaked a lot of havoc. As we speak here today, it has not been proscribed. We have bandits in the Northwest who has not been proscribed, and a lot of other organizations that are agitating. The South agitators, what were they called? Those that were doing oil bunkering in the South. They were even given amnesty, and they were being paid. When the government is paying you because you cause crisis, you are a criminal, and the government is saying, come, stop committing act of criminality, we will be paying you monthly stipend for a lot of time. This Niger Delta amnesty program that has been on for years. So the IPOB agitators are saying if these other groups agitating in South were even compensated for agitating, in the Northeast we had Boko Haram, and now we have what they call repentant Boko Haram terrorists who are being fed who are being housed by the federal government,
government,
that they were not proscribed. In fact, they were being treated well. Why is IPOB different? Because they are agitating. So these are the issues that has led us to where we are today.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that very beautiful foundation and background. Okay, now, what steps would you expect the government to take on the issue of, talking about IPOB, some purported factions of IPOB destroying the goods of people who did not follow the sit-at-home order?
Well, as a legal practitioner, I would never support any form of violence and criminality.
Okay.
For anybody to go out and destroy people's goods, shoot for coming out to do their businesses is an illegality. And the government must use its maximum force to stop the acts of criminality. However, if you use only force, you might not achieve the desired results. While using force to quell the criminal acts, it is also advisable that political solutions should be sought to give a lasting solution to the issue, not just stopping those who are enforcing the sit-at-home. The sit-at-home is being used to drive home a point. So if you quell only the sit-at-home, the point is still there, unaddressed too. So while I advise government to quell with maximum force anybody unleashing terror on the people under the guise of enforcing a sit-at-home, the government should also at the same time go back to their drawing board and find lasting solution to the issue. If you have been having the crisis for 10 years and you have been doing the same thing and there is no solution, it has not stopped, then it means there is something more to be done. And the same thing applies to even Boko Haram. If you've been fighting Boko Haram for the last 10 years and the Boko Haram has not ended, the more you kill, the more people still indulge in Boko Haram. And that means there is still a different approach that needs to be applied other than just deploying military to go and stay in a town and do checkpoints. That's not enough.
Okay. Let's quickly get some reactions from our listeners. This one right here says, good morning, Femi and the guest in the studio. I am Aboki from Osiri. In my own opinion, that money should be invested into basic infrastructures. With the current hike in the price of food stuffs in the market, what will 8,000 naira do for a bachelor in a month, not to talk of those with wives and children? I believe our government know the right thing to do, but once they get into office, they forget their promises during campaign. Thank you, and I have a blessed day. All right, thank you very much, Aboki. And then this says, Femi, good morning. It is now, I believe, that there's a certain devil. Okay, I do not think this word is appropriate. Okay, let's say there's a certain being living in Asorok. If not, why would the whole President Bola Ahmed Tinubu think that by doling out 8,000 naira to households in Nigeria will bring a massive respite to Nigerians? I don't expect this from Jagaban at all. Instead, let the government pump the 500 billion into our moribund refineries, provide the free primary and secondary school education, and revamp our agriculture. Also, let the government provide means of transportation to ease the hike experienced in the cost of transportation caused by the removal of fuel subsidy. Tinubu should not let the the demons residing in Aso Rock take his thinking cap away. Thank you, Diamond FM from Ayodeji Fagbore, Ilorin. And then it says Tinubu should not let. Okay, well, the same thing. But please, when we are sending a message, let us kindly mind the type of language we use, just because of we have different angles to these particular issues. Okay, this says good morning, Femi and the crew. Trust your night was awesome. Well, just joining the program. I'm not in town, but thank God I'm here. My own opinion is that all these bills cannot work in Nigeria because certain people will eventually embellish. Okay, embezzle. Sorry. To me, I've been saying this from the onset. Nigeria needs total reconstruction. If not, we'll just continue to roam about in one circle. Don't let me go into details more than this because you guys at Diamond FM have labeled me as Mr. Encyclopedia. Well, it is what it is. You and your guests in the building, we don't even need drawing board at the moment. We need a total reconstruction, and we should change individually and change start at home. If not for this, Nigeria can never be better. They have been saying it go better. Till when will it be better? I ask you yourself and the guest the question. Please read this message, I beg. Empower, I participated, but our money was embezzled. Oh, really? So sorry about that. Okay, this says, good morning, Femi, and your guest in the building. For me personally, I think if this reconstruction is not going to happen, then maybe we should segregate. If that is the only solution, then we should be divided. Oh, no, 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 no. To me, we should go our separate ways. We should bring Ensar Saga. We all know how difficult then what it was in Nigeria then. So until our leaders need to understand that if this country wants to reclaim its name, our leaders must be ready to work with their heart wholeheartedly and forsake this selfish, ambitious act. If not, Nigeria will keep revolving around in a circle. Okay, Mayor on the line. All right, thank you very much, Mayor. But please do not let us suggest, forms of violence. This says, good morning, Femi. Okay, okay, that's coming up very, very soon. Okay, this says, good morning. I think your analysis is more one-sided in terms of analysis. He failed to mention those who led the coup, Major Nziogu. He also neglected how other ethnic leaders were murdered by the leader of the group, Ejisa Madubelo, Tafawa Balewa, Akintola, etc. In any war, one side is likely to have an upper hand, so this is not the fault of Nigeria state. Every ethnic group have one agitation of being neglected. It's important that we must all come to the center and solve our problem. That's coming from Olatinwo from Airport. All right, thank you very much, Olatinwo from Airport. Before I ask you this question, Barrister, let's quickly know that report reaching us right now has it that there's currently a dead body of a man in white and black shirt along Challenge Government House Road. According to the Good Samaritan who called Diamond FM this morning, the corpse has caused a slight traffic along the axis. We urge the concerned authorities to swing into action concerning this corpse lying on the side of the road along Challenge to Government House here in the city of Ilorin. Okay, so Barrister, what's your position about that message?
I understand the point the person is trying to make. While it is true that certain individuals, the names he mentioned, lost their lives in the coup, what we are saying is not the death of an individual person. Yes, you can mention up to 10, 15 people from other tribes
that are non-Igbos.
Yes, but we are talking about a genocidal killing of a race or a set of people. If I mentioned a figure of about 30,000 people, Igbo people that died in that agitation, can he also say that any other tribe lost 30,000 persons in the civil war? I doubt it. So while it is true that yes, individuals, the premier of the Western region, the president then lost their lives. These Sardauna. These are individuals who are between 15 to 20 from different ethnic groups.
And it was their death that even cost the whole
war.
Okay.
So his interpretation is different from the point I was trying to make.
Okay. All right. Let's quickly see if we can get one or two calls before the end of the show this beautiful raining Friday morning. 0913-655-6952 080 00887 887. And here we go. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you calling from?
This is Samuel from Babodi.
Samuel from Babodi. How are you doing, Samuel? Please, let's have you.
I'm good. Before government granted amnesty to the Niger Delta's Rangers, I think for me, I'm very conversant with the Niger Delta people and getting to those areas where government are extracting crude oil. It is a riverine areas, and there is no electric light. It is those people are living. They built their house on the surface of the water with raffia pool and with planks. And the more government are extracting their crude oil, the more the area where they are living on continually and gradually sinking on. So that was what bring on the agitation. And the agitation does not base on killings. It is only that they are vandalizing the pipelines. Well, it was what I want to say is that what ought to be done must be done. When the government called them on board, they negotiated and they submitted and they were granted amnesty. And for the rest of people, before if you want equity, you must come with clean hand.
Okay.
But you cannot be killing, and you cannot be killing people, and yet you see it's not that I feel maybe you surrendered and you are still vying for equity. So if you want what you want, you need to come with clean and so that you will be granted what you want.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you so much for your contribution, Samuel. God bless you. Okay, our time has really been fast spent. Yes, Barrister, in one word, insecurity continues to test the capacity of this government. Just in one statement for our final discussion this morning, do you think they are doing enough to keep Nigeria safe?
They can do more. No matter what you have done, there is always a room for improvement. So even if they have done enough or they have not done enough, they should do more. That doing more is what we need.
Okay, your final word to cap the show this morning.
Well, I want to urge Nigerians to continue to be law-abiding. Without an atmosphere of peace, there can be no development. So as citizens, we should always be law-abiding, and government should always strive to make the lives of the people they govern better. You should never make life more difficult for people than what it was before you came on board. That should be the watchword of any public officer.
All right, thank you very much. Well, Nigerians, yes, this is the size of our package today on the Diamond Breakfast Show. Yes, this is a production of the News and Current Affairs Department of Diamond 88.7 FM. Ilorin. So yes, it is expedient and of course definitely very imperative for all of us to embrace peace and be law-abiding all the time, and then continue to be resilient no matter what the forces coming from outside, due to this the current situation. Special thanks to our guest for honoring our invitation this morning. We hope you're ready to do this with us over and over again anytime we call upon you, sir.
I will definitely call back.
All right, thank you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being a part of today's show. And meet us again by Monday next week by 9 a.m. With Bisola Uduwale Suleiman. Till then, please keep listening to Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin. I am Babafemi ADESOYE. Have yourself a very beautiful Friday and a lovely weekend ahead.
For up-to-date news reported across the globe, be rest assured you're on the right radio dial. Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin, your shining supreme station.
From news to sports, current affairs,